We've got a fantastic day lined up for you. First of all, with First Look, we're going to be looking at this amazing Oh Holy Night collection that's just to the left of me. I don't know my left and my right, just got to check that. I haven't been here for a whole week. I hope you've had a lovely week. I hope you've been enjoying yourselves. I've come up here and it's a bit chilly, whereas back at home, it was hot. It was hot and sunny at home. It's only like 4 hours away. It's like going to the Caribbean, going down to London, only less fun because it's full of pollution and there's no cocktails, unfortunately. Anyway, we've got a fun-packed show for you, and I've got the lovely Michelle with me. Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
You?
Yeah, good.
It is miserable here today. I opened my bedroom windows this morning and it was lovely. I literally looked back 2 minutes later and it was absolutely heaving it down of rain. It was awful.
It was torrential, wasn't it?
Yes.
And both of us did think, oh my goodness, what we're going to do about our hair.
Yes.
Because obviously that is the first thought I think of when it starts to rain. And I think, oh my goodness, what I'm going to do. But it was all right. We managed to get to the car in enough time, didn't we?
Yes, it stopped for a little while, didn't it?
So it did. We've got a great show lined up, haven't we? Well, we've got a great day because it's you and me all day today. Which is great for everyone at home, great for us here. And it's my last show with George today, which is really sad. So I'm sure you all know that George is leaving us for pastures new, and it's very sad. But it's sad happy because whenever George and I are on a Sunday, it means afternoon tea. So we get cream tea. So this is like our last cream tea together. How romantic, isn't it? Last supper, yeah.
The last supper.
I don't know if they had cream tea at the Last Supper. Do you think so? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they did. We're just talking about fish and chips. I think it was fish and chips last night. I missed out on fish and chips last night because I only came up yesterday. Lots of people are messaging in to say hello. Guess who's in to say hello, Michelle?
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes. Good morning, Ben. Diane says, happy Sunday morning, crafty friends. Nancy Ross says, good morning from Texas. Hazel Young says, good morning from Nottingham. Sandra Dundas says, good morning, Becky, Michelle, CTV crew, social media superstar Rachel, and all my crafty chatty chums. Kirsty D says, good morning, everyone. Julie Barlow says, morning all. Leslie says, good morning, everyone. And Gemma 5203 says, oh, it's Janet D, isn't it? Good morning from a very hot Dallas. Oh, that'd be quite nice and warm. I've been looking at holidays because everyone else seems to be just coming back from their holidays, which is making me feel, when you have a holiday at the beginning of the summer holidays, it feels like there's a really long break where everyone else is enjoying themselves on holiday. So I've been looking for holidays idly. I don't know when I'm going to go or where I'm going to have the opportunity to go, but I'm still looking idly anyway. Now, today, this first show is all about First Look, which is what we're going to be looking at here. So this is our Oh Holy Night collection. We are going to be looking at this first of all. We're going to look at this first of all here. This is launching on the 4th of September with Sarah. So you can see all that collection there. But we've also got the magazine, which is just to the right. It's bad, isn't it? That's going to launch on the 29th of August with Debbie Fisher. Lots and lots of inspiration in here, and also, as always, you're going to be getting those little bonus extras that really do work together with the collection, the Oh Holy Night collection that will be launching on the 4th of September as well. So we're going to be looking at this first of all. We're going to be looking at various aspects of this. We're going to be doing some demos on this, and Michelle's going to do some demos on the Oh Holy Night collection as well. Do message in and let us know what you're getting up to. Are you doing anything fun today? You've got any nice plans? It is bank holiday weekend in the UK, which means only one thing: the weather's going to be appalling. Because that's always what happens on the bank holiday weekends. Bank holiday weekends, for me, were always about going to see family. I don't know whether that was the same for you, Michelle. Do you go and do some stuff with your family or take the kids out, do something like that over bank holiday weekend?
Yes, yeah. Well, you try to, but like you say, it's always miserable on the bank holiday. Yeah. So mine used to always involve the arcades.
Oh,
because
okay.
As soon as it started raining, off the beach,
yeah,
in the arcades.
And what was your game of choice? I used to like those coin ones.
Yeah, I like the 2p machines, you know, with the,
Yeah.
But the only problem with the 2p machines is it's all lulls you into the false sense of security.
Yeah.
So you think you've spent like a quid and you haven't, you've spent like 20 quid because you keep giving your kids a quid and you think, well, it's only £1.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then you skint within 2 minutes.
Yeah. But there used to be, there's a game show, isn't there, where they have this
Yes,
kind of thing.
Tipping Point.
Tipping Point. Yes,
My favourite game show.
I really like that idea, that game, doing that. We need one of those here for keep us occupied in between shows. As I say, do message in if you've got any questions, you want to tell us what you're getting up to. Michelle's here to answer any questions regarding any crafty ideas. Maybe you're a new crafter. We always have new people watching every single show. Do say hello. It's always nice to hear from you people. Don't be afraid of asking a question, even if you think, you're talking about mats and layers, and I don't know what mats and layers are. I was exactly the same as you, and I had to Google it because I didn't understand who Matt Layer was. I thought that was somebody that was coming up on a later show. So, you know, no silly answers, no silly questions. I have not met Matt Layer. Is he somebody in the head office that I've not seen? I'm going to quickly show you what you're going to get inside the magazine. You're going to be getting a die here, which has got the Star of Bethlehem, Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. Then you've got a collection of stamps, sentiment stamps here that are going to work perfectly well. And these are not replicated with any of that collection. And then you've got this embossing folder as well. I'm not going to show you very much of the magazine. I'm just going to go, ooh, just to tease you. That's it. That's all I'm doing, to tease you. I'm going to pass it over to Michelle. So Michelle's going to show you exactly what's going to be in there.
Yes, we're going to have a look through the magazine. I'm going to show you some samples first that you can be creating with bits that you're going to get in this magazine. I love this. So this is just a nice little fun trinket box.
And that's in the magazine? All the details about how to make that's in the magazine?
Well, I'm hoping so. It's been given to me.
That's gorgeous.
I'm hoping so, but it's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I'm loving that. But what you're getting in this magazine is all those papers in the middle, but you're also getting all these toppers as well. So if you love the religious aspect of this, then you're absolutely going to be loving this magazine.
Beautiful colours.
I love that. So even down to your boxes, so all those toppers that you've got in there, you're going to be cutting off and creating your lovely boxes, but obviously we're going to be making cards with these as well. So just, again, the papers in there, all those toppers in there, you can bring extra elements into it as well. I'm going to show you this as well, because there is a little sneaky peek in there of those lovely cute penguins.
They're my favourite thing.
They are.
They're so gorgeous.
So lovely. They really, really are. So let's pop that to the side. Let's have a flick. Shall we have a flick through the magazine?
You're going to do a slower flick than my quick flick.
Absolutely. What I love is straight away, you've always got lots of fabulous inspiration. I love this, but this is absolutely gorgeous. You've got your lovely hello from the fabulous Mike there. You've got a question and answer in here from Craig. And again, obviously, all your contents. And straight away from the contents, look how bright and bold and beautiful it is. It goes through what you're getting in your box. So obviously, I've got my bits next to me. Going to catch up with Sarah. She's going to be creating some fabulous stuff. And again, you do get all the instructions in here. So if it's here, there's instructions for you on how to make it. Creating memories. I love the fact that we've got lots of different people in here. So you've got the gorgeous Marta there. A cute baby. Wow. I'm sold. Cute baby, totally sold. All that glitters from Glynis. Lots of, again, all these have got your instructions with them. I'm not going to hover too much on something. Don't want people, don't want you screenshotting it.
There's so much in there, isn't there?
There's so much in here. I mean, look at this.
Wow.
Yes, instructions, absolutely. I think we've got that up here somewhere. We'll have to see if we can find it. A bit about your ink pads, again, lots and lots and lots of inspiration. And then you get to my favourite bit, which is always the middle. It's the papers, it's those toppers, double-sided papers. And the paper is obviously different to the paper of the actual magazine. It's a nice matte, non-coated, so you can ink onto this as well. How gorgeous are the papers in here? And are they're not exactly the same papers as you get in the
in the collection, so they're just going to complement them, are they?
Yes, they're absolutely going to complement them. You're not going to get... what you get in here is not going to be replicated in the Oh Holy Night collection. But again, you've got more toppers in here, just more of those gorgeous, gorgeous paper. I mean, look at the imagery there. Mary and Joseph, that whole scene. So again, if you love that aspect, you're going to love this collection. To the perfect penguins, of course. We saw those a little while ago, but again, there's some instructions in here for you to make these. Love making these. You're going to love making these. So simple. And again, you've got your instructions on to how to make these. I made them quite a few years ago.
They're like 3D stars?
Yes.
Ooh.
Very easy to put together. But again, you've got the instructions there. Really easy to follow. A lot of fun to play with. Lots more stuff. Lots and lots more inspiration. We've got a getting to know Craig bit in there. We've got, again, more inspiration from Ashley. I love that we've got lots and lots and lots of different designers in here, because what you're getting is lots and lots of different people's view and people's take on the same collection, which is always fabulous. Sparkle and Shine, so that's our glitter paste, which obviously you can be using with this collection. You can use those glitter pastes with anything. It would be rude not to be honest. Using your golds with them, so again, lots of different takes on this. If you the amount, I mean, I'm still going, all that inspiration here, look. So you do have that little box there.
Oh,
You've got a few others.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Absolutely beautiful. And again, you've got your step-by-step. And you can see there's only a few step-by-steps, so it's just showing you how quite easy and simple it is to pop together. You've got all those tags, which I think I didn't show you, so let me just bring those in. So you've got lots of different tags that you're going to be able to make. How beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
So I'm loving this magazine. Love this with the little feet. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then even on the back, you've got some more inspiration. So that is your magazine. Those are your stamps that you're going to get with it. Yuletide greetings, glory to the newborn king. Again, very sort of that religious aspect with this. You've got that beautiful die there. And of course, you've got that embossing folder. So that's all coming up in your magazines. Let me just pop those away. Shall we just pop a nice simple card together with some of the items from this collection? Right, so I've just got lots of bits here. So we're just going to make a nice easel card. And from those middle pages, so I'll just pop it back over to the middle pages, you've got these toppers. So you've got some at the back and some at the front of those middle bits. So what I've done is I've already die cut this one out. So we're going to use that one. And I've got the Joy to the World. And then all I've done is, so from those papers, I've just, in fact, you've got it on a topper as well if you really want. So I just found the one, obviously my magazine. I didn't want to ruin Works magazine. But I didn't use the full piece, so you're going to be using just elements from each of these. So you're still going to be able to create lots and lots of cards with those bits that are in the middle. So I'm just looking for my glue. So I've got some of our gold mirror card, and we're just going to mat and layer that up. I think the gold makes it, you've got sort of a subdued gold in the back, so popping that brighter gold around the edges, I think it really just makes it pop. So I'm going to use, because it's a paper, I'm going to be careful as to the glue that I pick.
Right.
When it's a paper like this, you will find I'll either use my tape pen or I'll use my finger lift tape. Because, again, it's a paper, so if you can use your wet glue, but you're going to have to be very, very careful with how much you use, because it's a paper. You don't want to see that warping coming through.
Right.
So
if you were putting it rather on mirror card and you're going to be putting it on glitter, would you use a different glue for that?
If I was putting it onto glitter card, I tend to use my tacky glue.
Right, okay.
purely because you've got that coating on top, and because the tacky glue is water-based, it's going to soak through that coating and grab properly.
Right.
If you use, I mean, see, Lily uses this, and I think lots of people do, and it's absolutely fine. But I don't tend to use it because it's alcohol-based, and I don't find it soaks through that coating. So, for instance, on this mirror card, there's like a plastic sheet, a plastic coating. It's not going to soak through that because it's alcohol-based, but your water-based will. It will soak through it, and so it will grab the card rather than the coating.
Okay.
So it's not going to come off after 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Don't stick yourself to it. You're going to do this properly. So yeah, so that's why we always say, you know, there's lots of different glues for different jobs, and that's. And again, if you're new and you're watching and you're not sure, we have lots of glue schools, or just pop a question on.
It is a bit mind-boggling when you first start, isn't it? About what glue goes where and what ink pad goes where, and what you know, when you use this marker versus this marker. But we, like you say, we do have so much education. Watch back old shows where you could see all that information, which makes it really useful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the thing is, sometimes we think, oh, we just want to craft, we don't want the education. But then when you craft and it falls off or the glue doesn't grab, that's when you're going to think, actually, let me just go have a quick peek at that particular show. And then you do it and you think, oh, well, that makes sense. That's why it's not working, or sort of things like that. There we go. So that's going to be my little stopper. So that's going to go onto some foam pads.
So before we came on air this morning, I did check, and it's actually International Lottery Day. So we were in the car, we were talking about what you're going to do, what's going to be first purchase when you win the lottery. So we're going to say people are winning lots of money on the lottery. It's not just going to be, you know, a fiver.
Like a life-changing amount.
Yeah. So what would be your first... So, Michelle, what would be your truly first purchase? Not the first purchase that you think I want to hear, but your true first purchase. What would your first purchase be?
Shoes.
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 And what about in the gallery? So we've got George and Nicola in the gallery. What would be your first purchase if you won the lottery? Oh, George would buy us all cream teas. Oh, that's really nice, George. I like that. Nicola's strangely silent. You don't know? Do you not think about this a lot? I think about this a lot when I'm driving.
Yeah, I must admit I do. There's the answer that you say in front of other people, like you said, to you know. But then there's the true answer that you really would buy. Yeah.
So let us know what would be your first purchase if you were to win the lottery. What would be what would be your first purchase? Not necessarily what you would do, because I think we would all say we would want to help other people. You want to help family, maybe pay off mortgages or that kind of thing. But what would be the first thing that you would buy? Let us know. I do remember asking this question before, and I think somebody said they would buy like a home for loads of dogs, you know, like homeless dogs and things like that, which I thought was a really nice idea. I like that idea.
That's just put me to shame, hasn't it? Michelle will buy shoes. I will help homeless dogs.
See, I wouldn't tell my husband that I'd won the lottery. I'd keep it a secret, and I'd just go out and buy loads of stuff and watch him panic as the house gets more and more full of shiny things, and then eventually say, well, actually, I won the lottery.
I like that.
That's gorgeous, Michelle.
Just a nice, simple card put together with the papers that you were going to get in the actual magazine.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
Very quick and easy.
Yes.
And this is great, this magazine, for somebody who's a new crafter that perhaps doesn't know, you know, wants that inspiration, but wants all those other bits and pieces to go with it. You know, the papers have all been thought about, all those toppers. That's a really good idea. Lots of people are saying good morning here. And apparently lots of miserable weather reports in the UK. It's grim here in Rutland is the message I'm getting. Betty Weaver says, I'll be playing with my new CC arrivals as the HSM purchases should be here on Monday, and I've got the amazing All Hallows Eve collection from Crafter's Companion on Friday. Actually, looking over to my right are all of the demos from Demo of the Week, and they nearly are all Halloween ones. They are absolutely gorgeous. Was it Big Demo of the Month today? Oh, we've got lots of votes to do. Yeah, and there's quite a few, and there's 2 in Demo of the Month that are Halloween inspired as well. Rachel said she'd buy a house, a decent sized one with room for the baby and a space and room for the 2 older kids, and spread out, and some craft and workspace. Is it George's last day, or is it just the last day with Becky and Michelle? This is from Sarah Brown. It's just the last day of, no, George with us, because George's last day is Wednesday, isn't it? I think. Thursday's your last day. Anne says, if I won the lottery, I would buy a new house large enough for a separate craft room. I have to say that is my my Google choice of thing, craft room. Craft room inspiration, I find that really quite inspiring. Now in front of me, I have got a few more samples to show you from all of these All Hallows and the inspiration from that magazine. This is one of those little boxes that you saw earlier on, this little Michelle's got the larger box, this little sort of chest version. We've got sort of tea light boxes construction. This one I think is really cool. It's almost like you're looking through into like a little scene. I wanted to say you can probably see a little bit better. You can just see through to the nativity scene here. Lots and lots of different types of samples that we've got here, using different types of ideas. This one doing a shaker card. Just about to see it there. These ones using some of our glitter paste as well. Beautiful, beautiful collection for anybody that is looking for something with more of a kind of religious feel for the holidays. Lindsay says, I really like that card concept which Michelle is making, but not really sure what card size blank to start with. Is it A4 or A3 would you start off with?
So the actual card size that I started with on mine is 9 by 5.5. So then I've scored it obviously in half and then half again. But the total out is 9 by 5.5.
So that'll come out of a A4.
It will come out of an A4 piece, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. It makes a very cute little card, actually, and something a little bit different. Do you know, it reminds me of those like really beautiful boxes of chocolates you get from Austria. Do you know what I mean? I think they're called like Mozart chocolates. They've got lots of gold, lots of sort of like traditional kind of paintings on them. That's lovely. I like that. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing what else you're going to be doing. So this is using the magazine that we've got down here. As you saw, lots and lots of inspiration we've got on here, and everything in here, including these, the papers and those various dies, the stamps and the embossing folder are going to complement the Oh Holy Night collection, which is going to be launching on the 4th of September. So a great sort of starting point if you're sort of thinking, well, actually, sometimes I just need something to sort of wet my creative juices. That is going to be a great option for you. What are you going to make for us next?
We're going to go to the Oh Holy Night collection. I love this collection. Again, it's got lots of that religious connotations attached to this, but also doesn't. So these two pieces here, I have just got a beautiful embossing folder, just shiny bright, it's called, with that lovely star. And then you've got a star here, so nothing with this says, because the thing is, you're either into that kind of thing or you aren't. But what I love about this collection is we've got all that religious aspect of it, but we've also got lots of elements where you can be creating for those who love that and those who don't. So I'm going to use these two pieces. I've got this gorgeous 2D embossing folder. So I'm going to take that out, and I've got this gorgeous star. So it's the Star of Wonder. Or the long star, as I like to call it. And Ben likes to remind me. I was trying to explain it a while ago, and I was like, no, that really long one. And you were like, oh, I know what you mean. And he's never let me live it down since. So it's a 2D embossing folder.
Yep.
So
how can you tell it's a 2D versus the 3D embossing folder?
It says on the packet.
Do you know what? I knew you were going to say that to me.
It's actually, once you get used to embossing folders, you will actually notice. It does say 2D in case you are new. Yep. But when I have got this, I can feel this sort of 2 levels. With a 3D one, it's a shame I ain't got one here to show you, but with a 3D one, you will see and you will feel multi-levels of that embossing there.
Okay.
So let's pop those to the side. I couldn't resist that. It's like when you ask someone a serious question and they give you that answer, and it's like, just don't do that.
I was once on the tube with a friend, and a lady came up to us and said, could you tell me how to get to Victoria Station? And my friend said, yeah, you just get on the train, and when it says Victoria, you get off. at Victoria Station. And I remember thinking we'd all been to a concert, so we were all a little bit drunk. And I was just like, that was just so rude. That poor lady. But actually, it was true. That's all you need to do. My friend is savage, she is, isn't she? No, don't ever ask my friend how to get somewhere. She will be savage. Wow, that looks amazing.
Look at the emboss. So even though it's a 2D, you've got lots of detail. Oh, there you go, George. George is coming in on his last shift with me. So rude. Look at that.
He cried a little bit this morning, didn't he, about missing us? Yeah, he did. George will cry later. We'll be very emotional.
We will make him.
We'll make him cry. Yeah.
And then, so I've just got some silver mirror card, and I'm going to, so you've got 2 dies in here. You've got that lovely decorative element, but if you just want to cut out a solid die, then you've got that piece as well. I'm going to cut both of those out. It's like challenge accepted. Who can make George cry today? So,
I cry at adverts, so I'll definitely
cry at everything.
I'll cry when we say goodbye. I do cry. I cried a lot at that lottery advert last Christmas. Do you remember that lottery advert? I made everyone watch it here, and then I burst into tears. It was very sad. Lots of people messaging in to let us know what they're going to be doing with their when they win the lottery. I want to see more. I want to see the most obscure thing that somebody's going to buy. Is there something you've always wanted? Would you? Oh, George would like to buy a cinema.
I would love.
What, as a going concern, or just for yourself? So George is going to put on his favourite films, and people would come and watch them. What would be your favourite films? What would be the things you'd have? Lord of the Rings, Star Wars films. George, I'm going to be there. I'll be there definitely. Yeah, they sound like my favourite films. Yeah, where are you going to open this cinema? No, next door to Crafters Companion, so we could all pop out in between shows and watch a film. I love this idea.
That sounds good.
This is a great idea. And let us know what your ideas are for what you're going to be doing if you won the lottery. I don't know what my first purchase would be. I've always wanted a really, really cool car, like an Aston Martin. And I'd like to do, actually, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go to Monaco and drive down from Nice in a Ferrari down that really, really windy road, you know, that's always in all the films, and then go gambling with James Bond at the Monte Carlo casino and win some money. None of those things are going to work. No. I'm not very lucky in the casino at all. Kirsty D says, my first buy, if I won the lottery, would be a Chris Boardman bike for my son. I've promised him that I would. Skimmy says, from my experience, a room for my crafts would not be large enough, so I'd need a whole entire floor of my house to store whatever crafting supplies I currently have, with room to grow. Wouldn't it be nice to have a different room for each craft? You know, then you wouldn't have to think, oh, I've got to tidy up, because I'm now going to go and do a different craft. Sean Sanderson said, I'd buy my daughter a really good horse for her show jumping. Ooh, that would be getting rid of a lot of your money, won't it? Horses. Rachel says, I too blubber when people leave, so I'm resorting to total denial, and I've already threatened to super glue George to the chair. What glue would you use to super glue George to the chair? Tacky glue just wouldn't have it, would it? All purpose?
Hot glue gun him down.
We're not advocating gluing anybody to any furniture at all. We just don't want George to leave. That's looking beautiful with that gilding wax. I like that.
So I'm just using the silver. I think the silver goes with the blue beautifully, hence why I've also cut that out in blue. I think silver and blue is one of my colours, which I absolutely love. And then I've cut that die out. And that fits absolutely perfectly.
That looks
so we're
great.
gonna, pop that in there as well. So I'm gonna bring in my dotty, and they are coming back very slowly.
I missed out last time.
Debbie Robinson did. She says, I just bought one because I thought,
why?
Because she says, I thought, well, you know, I'll quickly get one, and then when I pop my proper order in, you know, I can get some more, but literally,
went really
It literally
quickly.
sold out so quick.
Yeah.
She didn't get a chance to do it at all.
I kept meaning to place an order, and I've got a little bit of one left.
Oh, have you?
I have, and I gave my mum one. She went and she said, "Oh, actually, that tape pen's really good. Can I have another one?" And I said, "No, I'm afraid you're going to have to wait. There aren't any left."
I did get the box because we was doing the boxes of
Yeah.
them, wasn't we? And I
Yeah.
thought, I know how much I use, so I went straight in for the box, and I'm so glad I did.
That looks
So
lovely.
I'm going to pop that right in the middle. You could pop this on a foam pad. So if you've got a foam pad and you pop it right in the middle, what you could
Yeah.
then do is, so you don't, in fact, let's do it. So you don't see the foam pad, you're going to pop a little bit of glitter on top. So let me just find, oh, I've got some here, some glitter. So I'm going to cut my foam pad down so it fits just in that middle section there.
Yeah,
But then obviously if we're going to put some glitter over the top,
that's a clever idea. Never thought about that.
yeah.
You're full of good ideas, Michelle.
Oh, I do try. So before I pop it on there, we'll put the glitter on and then I can get rid of it quite quick. Bring in this. So yes, if you do have something like this and you want to obviously pop it on a foam pad, but you can, yeah, this is the best way. And you can never have too much glitter.
No, I completely agree with you.
There we go. So now it's got a lovely glittery centre and it's also going to stand out as well. Do you know, I used chunky glitter yesterday and every time I blinked, I had like disco balls going off in front of my eyes.
I didn't want to say anything, Michelle, but yesterday when we came back to the house, you had glitter all over your face.
All over my face. I went up to bed last night and obviously I had a wash and I saw all this glitter everywhere. I got up this morning and I still had glitter on my face.
Oh, but I think you will do, don't you? It's one of those things that hangs around for a really long time.
Yeah.
I went to a party on Saturday night and I had pink glitter eyeshadow, and I'm still finding it in places. Yeah, it hasn't disappeared.
There we go. So just that little pop of glitter on the inside. I'm going to pop the glue on this side because now I've got that on there. I'm not going to turn it over and squish it. So let's pop that just down the middle and bring that in. So again, I've just got a nice little blue border around the edge. This blue that comes with this collection is the most gorgeous blue. So
Kind of like a midnighty blue. Is it more like a grey blue?
I don't know. It is more like a grey blue, but a nice deep one. It's lovely. Let me just, so I don't get any of that glitter moving. There we go. And then we're going to pop that in the middle. Do you know, if I had my big sheets of those A4 sheets of double-sided foam pads,
Yeah.
I would pop that behind it because that's crying out to go on some foam pads. But I haven't, so I'm going to use this.
What's that you've got there?
It's my foam on a roll.
No,
We sung it
We're not singing
yesterday.
it. No, not singing it today. They're singing it in
Foam
our
on a
ears.
roll.
Foam on a roll.
Foam on a roll.
Hey, just a mini,
Hey.
mini foam on the roll.
Foam on a roll. Da, 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 da.
Foam on a roll. Do, 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 do. Foam on a roll.
We all finish both of those songs at different times, all of us.
The thing is, I know when my mum watches this, she goes, "Oh, please don't sing that song again." And I'm sure loads of people think the same. I mean, maybe some people do like that. I've got a question from
Okey-dokey.
Lindsay. How do you write out personalisation cards which has a nice fancy font and gold or silver lettering? Would you practice doing that with would you use a particular pen, or would you use a die, or how would you do that? How would you do that?
I don't know. I'm absolutely rubbish at the lettering, at any kind of calligraphy. So for me, it has to be a stamp that I can die cut out,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Or stamp or die cut out. We've got, in fact, in this collection, let me bring them in. There is a couple of dies, so if I show you that one, so you've got that beautiful Oh Holy Night, and you've got the Silent Night. You know, you could die cut some of those out and practice from them, you know, have them next to you. But unfortunately, we do have some lovely pens. So we've got some glitter pens, we've got some metallic pens, we've got all sorts of lovely pens that you can buy if you want to practice that, or you know, that's something that you want to do. We do have some beautiful pens. So if you have a look on the website, we've got lots of gorgeous pens that you can use. But unfortunately, because I'm rubbish at it, it's something that I never do. So besides advising you to have a look at our pens, which do write beautifully. We've got some glue pens as well. So if we've got these, do I have one next to me? These glue pens. Yeah. So if you, so that's got sort of that wonky nib. What's it called? Chiseled nib? Wonky nib. It goes to a point. It's a chisel, isn't it? If you write out with these and you've got some of our gilding flakes, and you do, you know, you get good at your signing names, your writing, use those, put your gilding flakes over the top, and then again, that's going to elevate your lettering. That's a good idea. Yeah. Right, so I've stamped, because I always lose my sentiment, I've stamped out lots. And again, it's from the stamp set in this collection. Let me just bring it in. Do I still have it somewhere? I do, it's here. So this collection, so I thought if I just stamp lots out, there's no way that I can lose just one of them. And the good thing is actually, now I've got this together, I can have a look at this and think which one matches it better. Yeah. So it's got to be the stars are brightly shining, hasn't it? So I'm going to bring in just my little cutter, and I'm just going to trim this out. So it's nice and straight. There we go. It's a very nice sort of sweeping font. I love the font on this. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to pop that on here with some glue, and then we'll just trim round it again. I don't think it's just me. I think I do that rather than cutting everything out and then sticking it together. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I find it a little bit easier sometimes. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, I think whatever works for you, isn't it? Yeah, I couldn't cut it with scissors. I'm not that accurate. I'd have to put it in my guillotine. There we go. You're very clever doing that. Thank you very much. I sometimes shock myself. I sometimes cut something out and think, actually, I cut that out really well. I'm quite proud of myself for that one. It's because I'm going to pop this here. I only need a foam pad, in that bottom corner. Sometimes you might need to double it up. It depends on how deep this is, but that's going to fit perfectly. So we're going to take that off. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue around that little bit there, so it sticks to here as well. Pop that on, just there. And if you've got lots of little gems, they're going to look lovely on all of those little embossed bits. Oh yeah, that'd be lovely. All glitter to match. Very sort of muted sort of blues and greys you've got there. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So if I stand that up and turn it around, it's that lovely embossing folder with that gorgeous star on the top. Gorgeous. Oh, another good one, Michelle. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, as always, to choose all your demos. Now, this is the Oh Holy Night collection, which will be launching with Sarah on the 4th of September. You've got a whole mixture of different items in here. You've got embossing folders, you've got dies, you've got papers, and you've got some cardstock as well. To show you exactly what you're going to be getting, this first one is your Silent Night die. As Michelle was saying, it's really, really pretty. Quite a large piece, sort of piece of metal, but it's quite a significant sized die. This one is your Nativity. So you've got all those separate little dies there. This next one is that beautiful star, that Star of Wonder. So you've got that outer die to cut the mats and layers, and one to cut all that intricate detail in there. This next one is your Oh Holy Night. Then we have your sentiment stamps. They're very pretty, aren't they? Next one is Comfort and Joy. I mean, that's beautiful, isn't it? Lovely, lovely image there. This one,
This one is your All Is Bright edgeable die. This next one is Let Us Adore Him with Mary, Joseph and the baby Jesus. This is gorgeous. I love this one. This is your little nativity snow globe stamp and die set. That is great. Then you have your Shining Brightly embossing folder, which we've just seen Michelle use just now. We also have your collection of your papers. So you've got your 6x6? 6x6. Yeah, 6x6. Collection of papers. As always, you know, double-sided papers. So you've got a very sort of intricate, detailed scene on one side with a more muted design on the rear. Beautiful imagery, all those images that you would expect to see in a kind of nativity type collection here. Beautiful colours as well. As always, we are also doing linen cardstock in all of those colours that work well together. So you've got almost like a plummy pink, you've got that dark midnight blue here, as well as greens, that really beautiful sort of rich sort of sand yellow orange colour, and burgundies as well. And then finally you've got your 12 by 12 paper pad as well. All the same imagery that you get in the smaller paper pad, just larger. So you can see fully all of that detail in here. It doesn't have any, has sort of gold colours in it. It doesn't have any actual gold embossing in it, but this is, as Michelle said, all uncoated paper, so easy for you to ink and maybe use some of your gilding flakes or your glitter paste, all sorts of different things on there. Gorgeous. This, I'm looking forward to seeing more of what we've got on this. I've got a few more samples to show you. We're going to go for a quick break. Do actually message in, let us know what you're getting up to, but let us know also what you're going to be doing with your lottery, lottery winnings. Are you going to be buying all these collections? I suspect most of you probably are. We're going to see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What did she do?
Exactly
What
how
did she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Susie said she'd go to the motorhome so we could all do some travelling and take the dogs with us if she'd won the lottery. Lindsay says, my first purchase would be to buy a farm in South America and open a ranch with a swimming pool and a craft building and open the ranch for animals and mothers and children who need refuge. That's a lovely idea. And Angela Krause is saying about the collection, she said, I'm thinking stained glass with those dies. Yes, they absolutely, like paper piecing and stained glass. Or even, I've seen them before when you've done like a tea light holder with all those stained glass images around the outside. That would work really well. Carol Ann says, oh, a new Christmas collection. Who doesn't love the new Christmas collection? Because it's not long now until Christmas. We do need to get our crafty Christmasness started, definitely. Have you started your crafty Christmassy card making yet, Michelle? Or are you going to start that later?
No.
No.
I tend to start I don't have a lot of people to send cards to.
Me? Yeah? Me?
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course. Oh. Absolutely. Yes. And you guys and everyone. Yeah. But family-wise, I don't have a lot. I don't have, I think my mother-in-law, my son, and his wife. My husband gets one.
Do they make you cards?
No.
No.
Alice does.
Does she?
Yes, she's always in my stash. I don't like it because she's nearly better than me, can I just say? Like, no, you can use the rubbish stuff over there that's not Crafters Companion.
We'll have to get her in to do a bit of crafting with you.
She's
very
much like me. She likes the 3D stuff. So she's created this big 3D block thing that you sort of, eternally folds out. That's amazing.
Well, like an exploding box kind of thing.
Well, it's you know those cards that you can make that you put together and you open them that way and then you can open them that way and keep. I can't remember the name. She's made one of those but with 3D blocks.
Oh.
She's so clever.
Wow.
She's just recently made, it's a huge graveyard, and she's, with all my mount board, she's made this graveyard and this old dilapidated church. Loves the 3D stuff.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
hence why I don't let her use my stuff. She's better than me nearly.
What are you going to show us next? Because I don't think she is better than you.
She's very good. She's very talented, bless her. So yes, I do let her use all my stuff because why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Because I also bring it back.
Begrudgingly. She's like, can I borrow it? And I'm like, yeah, all right then.
Just use a tiny, tiny bit.
Yes, just a little bit. So we're going to go back to the magazine. I've got some of the beautiful papers. So if I just show you some of those beautiful papers, I've already matted some of them onto some gold paper that I already had in my stash at home. But we're going to use this, so I'm just going to pop this out. I do like it when I get to open a new package. So let's pop that out. It will come out eventually. It's always that little bit of last little bit of tape that you get stuck on, isn't it?
Always.
Oh, there we go. So I love this. It's just a beautiful little die. So again, you've got that piece there. And you've got, again, that gorgeous decorative element. So I was just sneakily looking to pinch a piece of card from the Oh Holy Night collection.
It's such a beautiful colour, isn't it? Really, really rich colour.
Absolutely gorgeous. So even though I've matte and layered these onto this, I'm still going to be able to use this because you can see it ties in beautifully. You still have those sort of colours running through. So I'm just going to trim a piece down because we're going to cut. I'm going to be very frugal with this because it is a gorgeous colour. Pop that to the side and we're going to run these through. So let me just bring in my plate. We're going to pop this on here. Let's run it through. Let's run those two through together. So this doesn't have a cutting element all the way around, or a cutting blade. So it means that if you use it without this, it's going to stay in the actual piece of card. So you'd have to cut it down. But obviously using it with this, it means that it's going to cut out into that beautiful shape. So just lining that up to pop it through. Where's the rest of my plate?
Lindsay says, I'm like Michelle, I don't have many people to send cards to either. I think when you have lots of people to send cards to, it becomes quite onerous to have to make all the cards, doesn't it? And then if you only make a couple of cards, cards for a few people, and then they all, go to someone else's house and they go, oh, you've got a handmade card from so-and-so and I didn't get a handmade card. I know that my husband's auntie paints and she had some beautiful cards and she did these paintings on them. And I just got an ordinary card and I was a bit, obviously not special enough to get a nice handmade card. I think it's a little bit easier. We haven't got loads and loads of people to make cards for.
But yeah, I think it is. I can put more time and effort into the few that I do make. Into yours, Becky. Absolutely.
I mean, can we let people into a secret? I don't think I've ever got a card from anybody I work with. Have you ever got a card from anyone you worked with here?
No.
No, isn't that awful?
No.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things because you run out of time.
Yeah,
and we don't
definitely
see each other that often. I haven't seen Michelle. I saw Michelle last week very briefly in the house, but that's it. I might not see Michelle for a few years. Did you say you gave me a card? Did you give me? Was that when you were Secret Santa? Secret Santa, yeah. The first year I was here, I had George was my Secret Santa. I did have a bottle of champagne. Yes, I did. It was a great Secret Santa. Yeah, I
Not as
think,
good as mine. We'll say no more.
I think it's lovely to get a handmade card if you can get one, but it's a labour of love, isn't it? For all of you paper crafters, you know how long it takes to make a card. It really is a labour of love, and you always want that person to realise that you've made that card and you spent a lot of time making it, not something that's just they're going to pop into the recycling bin at the end of Christmas. They need to keep hold of it forever. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you make me mine, Michelle, I'll keep it forever.
Oh.
Secret
Santa's band.
Is that the Centura pearl that you're using on the card
It is.
base?
So it's our double-sided. It's a hint of, I think this one's the hint of silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to create one of these cards.
What are they called when they're like that?
I have no idea.
That's not a diorama card, is it?
I don't know. People keep telling me. Someone in the comments will know. We're going to create an aperture. I can create the cards, but if you want me to tell you what they're called, it's never going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this main die and we're going to create an aperture with this one. So when you're looking through to this, it's all the same shape and it's going to look lovely. But what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down first.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just going to, what I always do, and I don't know why, I think it's more, if I'm in a rush, what I will do is rather than wet glue that down, and then run it through the machine and have the glue splurge out, I tend to put a little bit of dotted like you just saw me do. I'm going to line this up, and then when I've run it through, then what I will do is then I will add the glue afterwards.
Okay.
It just means, especially if you sort of think, actually I need to get on with this now, or if you've forgotten you need to run it through, it just means that your glue's not going to splurge out everywhere.
So that always worries me when you're doing something like that, to make sure everything is lined up. So that's a really good hint, having that little bit of glue just to hold everything in place.
Yeah, it just holds it where I want it to be, and then when I pop my die on top, it means it's not going to move. I mean, even though it's the tiniest little bit of dotty that I used, that dotty tape is still got an almighty stick. So don't
Small
feel...
but mighty.
Yes, yeah. I mean, don't feel that it's the dotty, so it's not going to have an incredible grab, because it absolutely does. So let's pop this off very careful, because that is a paper and we don't want to rip that at all, especially with the low-tack high-tack tape. So
It's very high-tack when you don't want it to be, isn't it?
It is, it is. I mean, the thing is, it does the job. Nothing moves when you pop it on there, but unfortunately, putting it through the Gemini machine just gives it such an incredible hold.
It is amazing, because I've accidentally wrapped a present using our low-tack tape, and that's a mistake because it just doesn't work. It's incredible, that pressure of the machine, what it can do to that tape.
That's it. That's absolutely it. Right,
What do we do before it? You know, holding your dies down, your paper down to your die. It must have been really difficult.
Well, yeah, I must admit, I used to use washi tape.
Yeah.
But again, washi tape's not got a lot of stick on it, so more often than not, you would find that your stuff would move. So when we discovered low-tack tape, it was one of those moments. So just going round this now with my tape. You could go around now with your wet tape or your wet glue if you wanted, because I know it's not going to be squidging out anywhere because I've already die cut it out. And it should line back up perfectly.
Just that arch shape is beautiful. You'd be able to use that in lots of different things, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Kind of like
definitely.
a Moroccan feel to it, that shape.
We've got quite a few collections. The Moroccan Dreams.
Mediterranean Dreams,
Why am I saying Moroccan? Because but it could go perfectly with that one, definitely. So now we've got that, we can just layer this all up together. I've got some of that gorgeous patterned paper that's going to go in the back. I'm really sticking myself up today.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. It's going to be one of them days. Maybe I need to not bother with the tape anymore and go to wet glue. So pop that on there. So we're going to pop that up on a foam pad, because then you've got those multi-layers going on with this on a foam pad and then that at the front. So let's bring Dottie in for this one. And again, being careful around those delicate bits. A bit like me, delicate. Delicate and dainty.
I thought you meant covered in glue.
Two things I've never been called.
Delicate and dainty?
Delicate and dainty. I pride myself in being the opposite of that. Bull in a china shop was one of the things Mum always said about me. Can trip over my own feet.
Oh, I'm really accident prone.
Oh, yeah.
But my daughter is very tall and skinny, but she walks like an elephant. Honestly, you can hear her. She won't be watching, so it doesn't matter that I'm saying this. She comes down the stairs. It's like, you know, in Jurassic Park where they've got that water and the footprint. It's like that. It's like a boom. She comes down the stairs, and none of us can understand because she's such a little tiny thing. But yeah, she's you know, doom doom doom. Sorry, Ellie, if you're watching. She won't be. Be cooking courgettes.
My son Oliver's like that, you know. When he walks, he really bangs his feet down. And he's I mean, he's tall, but there's like nothing to him.
Yeah.
But you know, when he's coming, I mean, my daughter Alice doesn't half laugh at him.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, so I'm going to pop these two on first, and then I always tend to slot that in and decide on where I want it.
Okay.
Because I like to have that right in place first, because I like to make sure that I'm getting it exactly where I want it to be. It can be a little bit more fiddly. I tend to use my tweezers. If you will probably do it first when you're at home, but again, we all work in different ways.
And it's all right to use tape pens for this bit. You wouldn't use red liner tape for that, or you don't really need that extra strength on that.
I wouldn't use red liner tape for this. Normally, actually, I would use a wet glue.
Yeah.
But if you're going to use this, I mean, the strength is there. This is still a really, really good glue.
Yeah.
If you want that extra strength, then glue both sides. So if I pop, I'm just getting to the end of my roll. So if I pop glue there and there,
yeah.
So the glue on glue obviously gives you a twice as strong hold.
Okay.
But you don't need it. But, you know, if it is for something that you want to use it and there is going to be some movement, so some sort of element where there's that moving part, then just double up your glue tape. And always give it a burnish. That little bit of heat afterwards really activates it to make sure that it's going to stay nice and stuck.
And you just burnish it with your fingers rather than using anything?
You can burnish it with your fingers.
Yeah.
If you want to come in with, I know Debbie Fisher always comes in afterwards with her burnishing tool. But anything that sort of just creates that little bit of heat there just allows it to, I don't know, mould better, melt better. So let me just excuse my head if it's in your way. Just trying to line that up without getting my head in the way. Oh, there we go. I'm quite happy with that one. So I think then the last thing that I need to do is just to add my Joy to the World, and I've got a little bow for this one. So again, I think I'm going to pop that right on the bottom. So pop just a little bit of glue. Let's line that up in the middle.
And that will just fold flat for posting?
Yeah, it will fold one way or the other, absolutely flat. So let me just, that's a bit wonky. Get that in the middle. A little bit of tape here for my little bow. Stick you there. And then I've just got a couple of gems going to pop on the other side at the bottom. Pop that one. 2. I don't know why I'm counting. 3.
Nicola probably doesn't know what we're laughing about. Do you that used to exist when you were young, Nicola? Don't know about the other characters. That is gorgeous.
Thank you. Nice and simple to put together. And again, it's just that die. So using that as your matte piece to cut that aperture, just a nice simple way to pop it together.
Beautiful. Love that. Oh, gorgeous. Lillian Kwok says she uses red liner tape to wrap presents. People struggle to open them. That's always quite amusing, isn't it? Like when you get wrapping paper or tape and you go tape all the way around to see somebody try to struggle to unwrap it. I might do that next year or this year for Christmas, just for the giggles. Just for the giggles. Carol says, lovely to see Becky back after her holidays and first look of the new magazine. Yeah, the new magazine, there is so much inspiration in here, so many different items you can possibly... Shall I find my favourite thing? I did see what my favourite thing was, which was, it was that church, which I thought was amazing.
That was amazing.
I mean, obviously, I love the penguins. The penguins are my image of choice this Christmas. And actually, if you're not going to get a penguin card from me, then you're lucking out, because I've already started making them. This, I think, look at that. That is incredible, absolutely gorgeous. You can see those on a windowsill with little tea lights in, you know, sort of drawing people in over the Christmas holidays. Absolutely incredible. And everything is in here for you to sort of follow those step-by-step instructions. Really fabulous, lots of details about different kinds of items that we sell. Lots of great, I think just great. Everybody struggles a little bit with inspiration at times. I mean, we all look at information on websites. I have to say, I look at our Instagram account quite often when I'm making a card, because sometimes just need that something to give me a little bit of a jog, to give me some inspiration. But lots and lots of details in there, loads of bits of inspiration. And of course, you're also going to be getting these other items in that with that magazine, and these are going to complement that Oh Holy Night collection that launches on the 4th. So you've got extra sentiments in there, so extra sentiment stamps. You've also got that gorgeous die that you've just seen Michelle use. And then finally, you're going to be getting this embossing folder as well. The Oh Holy Night collection over here launches on the 4th of September with Sarah, and you've got here a whole collection of different dies. You've got those beautiful large sentiment dies, the ones I'm saying Holy Night and Silent Night, as well as that globe. I think that globe stamp and die set is gorgeous. All of those beautiful papers and that cardstock, that linen cardstock, which is going to go so well with all of those colours. This is a really fabulous collection. It's going to be something that I know that you're going to be super excited to see, to give you some ideas of the type of things that you can be making. Here's a couple of little samples here. This one here, I think this is beautiful, with that, you know, like a little whole good pot of tea light underneath it, you know what I mean? Tea light holder. It's not a tea light holder, tea light lantern, for want of a better term. As well as those little boxes. You saw Michelle with a little box earlier on. This is another one, almost like a little treasure chest, but using all those beautiful papers and cards in there. Lillian says, Becky, you're so mean. I use red liner tape, so there's no ugly shiny tape showing, not for a giggle. Oh, okay. I would find it funny people struggling to unwrap their presents, especially if it was a really great present. Quite often with children, we say to children, what can it be? And they're like, oh, what can it be? What's in there? It's an elephant, just flattened. Flat elephant, like Flat Stanley. I am mean. I mean, this is why my nieces and nephews hate me. This one here, I think, is really cool. Being able to see through that little nativity scene, really cool little piece of construction that you've got here, using all of those different cards and papers in there too. Lynn Morton says, that's beautiful, Michelle, thank you. And Lindsay says, I love the penguins. Me too. They are absolutely gorgeous. What are you going to be doing for us next, Michelle? Oh, we've got pictures first. Let's do pictures first.
Got some pictures.
What pictures have we got?
Yes, always pictures.
Oh, this is from the craft along yesterday. I love that. That's from Evelyn Kiefer. That's the little gingerbread house. That is gorgeous. Love that. The next one is
yes, absolutely gorgeous.
From Marsha. Beautiful card with all those beautiful butterflies.
I love those. Those are those concertina corners, aren't they?
They're gorgeous. Next one is this one from Marsha as well. That's beautiful. I love the colours on that. Very sort of Aztec-y.
I love that.
Very nice. Next one we've got is from Sarah. Oh, that's lovely with little jack-o'-lantern, little pumpkin. That looks great. Really, really like that. Thank you very much for sending it in those little details of your cards that you've been making. Send more in. I love to see what people have been getting up to. And it's always nice to see when people have finished a recent craft along, especially if it was only yesterday. I have to say, I did pop into the studio last night, and looking at the craft along made me really hungry for gingerbread. Because it does look absolutely gorgeous. Really, really love that. George wants some gingerbread. I might have to go and do some shopping a little bit later on. Betty Weaver says, if I won the lottery, I would have the rest of the Renos Rest of the renovations on the house done by someone other than me, and paid for a professional landscaper, so all the big things were done. That sounds like a good idea. I'd like that idea. Right, Michelle, what are you going to do this time?
So we're going to go back to the Oh Holy Night, and I'm going to use the All Is Bright. Not going to sing, I promise. I'm going to use, so it's an edgeable. And it's an absolutely gorgeous edgeable. It's a lovely size as well, 6 inches wide, and you've got a lot of depth on there as well. So what are we? Just read that. 2.5 inches by 6.1. So I've picked a piece of card. It's a lot wider than I need it to be. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to trim it down to what I need. Actually, let me bring in this piece. Let me just...
With that particular die, could you use that for something other than a sort of Christmas time, holiday time? Is it something that with the stars on it? Could you get away with it for other things?
I think so, absolutely, because it's stars. So if you've got a graduation, something like that, I think it would work for it. Because again, nothing on here screams Christmas. So you're going to get away with using this a lot. Kids cards, they love sort of stars and stripes cards, something like that. You've got lots of options with it, which is what I love. With this collection, it's going to give you really the Christmassy effect, but on a different collection, actually, it's just a beautiful edgeable with those stars on there. So I've just cut my piece of card down to the 6 inches, so this is going to sit on it lovely. I haven't cut it down that way because of what it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, we're just going to trim that edge. I'll cut that edge first.
Do you use your glass mat for helping you line that all up?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm lining it up here to make sure that... do you know what? I use my glass mat so much for measuring rather than anything else. So let's tape that there, and then we'll run it through. So let me bring in all my plates. Make sure it's on. Yes, my glass mat is invaluable to me. Not only can you throw not literally throw anything at it, it cleans up beautifully, but I'm always measuring with this. Even when I've got my ruler out, I'm still measuring with this, making sure everything lines up. It's just brilliant, it really is. So, pop that over, you can see it's die cut out gorgeous. So pull that off. Poke these little bits out. The only thing is you just need to be careful because you've got those stars on the end of those little swooping bits. You need to be careful when you're popping things out. We don't want to sort of rip anything. You've got that huge star that comes out as well. You're not going to get rid of that. You're absolutely going to use that. Yep. It's a beautiful star.
And you didn't need to use the metal shim because it's an intricate die. It just cut perfectly in the normal way, didn't it?
It does, yeah, definitely. It's cut through absolutely beautifully. If you've got a really intricate die, that's what the metal shim is in there for, absolutely. But you'll find more often than not that you don't need to use your metal shim when you're die cutting with ours, just through card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this piece, because then all I've done is I've added a score line here, and then I've added an extra one, which is just an inch score line. Pop that to the side, because what I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit of that orange card.
Nice.
But what we're going to do first is I'm going to bring this in. So it's just going to be a nice little bag, and this is going to be my flap that goes over the top. So this is why I haven't got rid of this yet, because I'm going to decide on how far down the back of my bag I'm going to attach sort of the closure, isn't it?
Okay.
So I'm going to use my tape pen again. So let's get plenty of tape on there. And then just like, so let me give you the measurements for this. I have, so it's 8 inches high,
Yep.
The front is going to be 6 inches, and this is 3, and then I've got a scar line halfway down. Just got a 1/2 inch tab, and then my bottom is just 2 inches.
Okay.
So my bag, as you look at it, is going to be a 6 by 6 bag.
Right, okay.
So just line that up on there.
So it's just 2 pieces exactly the same?
2 pieces exactly the same. Do exactly the same with both of them. And it should fit together absolutely beautifully. So tape on there.
Tracy Kershaw asks, where do we send our makes into? So if you send them into studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, I think. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, I think is the right... I was right. I remembered it. So just send it through to there, we'll be able to have a look at your makes. And of course, take advantage of Michelle being here. If you've got questions about anything, perhaps you were doing the craft along, you've forgotten something, or you want to ask a quick question. Michelle is here all day today, and she is desperately waiting for people to ask her questions, aren't you, Michelle?
Always.
Good opportunity.
I do. Do you know what I do actually? Because I like it when I can answer a question. So when I'm at home and I'm watching a quiz show with my husband, I can't answer the questions. But more often than not, I can answer the questions here. So fire them to me because it makes me feel a little bit better and not as daft.
I always think it's quite nice actually when you ask questions about things, because sometimes there are things we automatically say and we sort of think everyone knows, but obviously if you're new to crafting or you're new to paper crafting, you may think, oh, actually I don't really know what you mean, and then this is the opportunity to message in. We've all been beginners at some point, and there are no silly questions, so do sort of take advantage of that. I feel the same about game shows. I like to watch what's the word? University Challenge. I might get one right. I mean, one, if I'm lucky.
See,
my favourite bit of University Challenge is when they first come on, and we do this at home, the first quiz is you've got to guess what subject they're doing from how they look. And those ones I tend to get right quite often, but I only ever get maybe one question right. And the other day my daughter said she was watching it, she got 5 questions right on University Challenge. It just so happened it was like a subject she knew loads about. But yeah. What would my mastermind subject be? Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It would be what?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that would be my mastermind thing. Yeah, I'm a big Buffy fan. Yeah.
I'm currently rewatching Angel at the minute.
Oh, are you?
I haven't watched it for ages.
And well, was Angel as good as Buffy? It had more Angel in it, so in that respect, then yes. David Boreanaz. Yeah, I mean, I think Buffy was better, I have to say. But what would be your mastermind subject?
Oh, I have no idea.
No?
Yeah, papercraft. Yeah.
What about George? What would yours be? Lord of the Rings trilogy, okay, but not the books, the films rather than the books. Okay. So films rather than books, because there's, okay. And Nicola, what would yours be? Nicola doesn't know enough about anything. I don't think that's true. I'm sure you do. I don't know if it is empty all the time. Let us know what your subject would be if you were doing mastermind. I don't know. Zoe says, I love Angel. I love Buffy. James Masters was great as Spike. Did you ever see Buffy the Musical? I thought that was awful. That's from Rachel. I didn't see that. I think that. No, Buffy. Do you mean there was a singing version?
There was
of
a
Buffy,
singing episode, wasn't there?
Which was called
Once More with Feeling.
Yes, well done, Michelle. Can you remember any of the songs?
Oh, I loved the song. I couldn't sing you one, but I did. I loved the one that Willow sung in the park with her girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that was really nice.
That was my favourite song.
That was good. I did, and actually, I remember watching an interview, and I think a lot of them said that was their favourite episode.
Yeah.
That was good. I do like that. We need, and Nicola, you need to make a decision about what is going to be your mastermind subject of choice. Pink Floyd. She says she likes them, doesn't know anything about them. Let us know. Yeah, let us know. That's looking gorgeous, Michelle.
Yes, thank you very much. So all I've been doing is I've just been matting and layering. So I've cut this down. So what I've done is once I'd cut it out on my piece of card, I decided how much of I wanted to show at the front. So I'm quite happy with that. So that was that extra inch on there. And then because it's quite a robust box, what I have done is instead of just putting one scar line on, I've put two. So I've got 1/4 of an inch there. I've left that about 1.5 inches. And what that does is when it sits over, let me just grab those two tops together, it sits over nicer. If I had just put one scar line there, it just wouldn't sit nice. So adding that extra depth, it just, because this wants to keep popping out, because what I've done is I've just scarred so far down. If you scar a little bit further down, obviously this comes together a little bit more, but I don't want it to. I want to have it looking like that from the sides. So hence why I've done that. And then what we're going to do is, so we're just going to glue this. I'm going to glue mine on the inside. So because it is 6 inches, which is exactly the same as this, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim that edge down. Just the tiniest slither, just to make sure that it's going to sit in there. You can glue yours onto the back if you want, and then mat and layer your patterned paper over the top of it, which is probably normally what I would do, but because I've glued mine down now, it doesn't really matter. So let's just pop some glue on here. It just, I've done it on the wrong side. Tell you what, is this going to peel off? It is, look at that. Oh. See, this is what I love about that Kalal glue. You get lots and lots of time for that to really dry, which is good when you accidentally stick something down and want to peel it up. So we're going to glue that on the back of there. I'm going to just lean that just to make it able for me to stick my hand in. I'm going to get glue all over my mat, but it doesn't matter, it peels up beautifully. Just means I've got more to peel, which I enjoy doing.
Lynn Morton says, is it easier to mat and layer a bag before you make it up?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Again, I would have done that, but because I wanted to show you how to put this back flap on, I popped my bag together first. I think it's easier for you to visualise where and how that flap is going to go when the bag is together rather than when it's flat, because you can see straight away, you can be like, oh, it's gone straight onto the back. If I have my two pieces out, it can be a little bit more difficult for you to see. So hence why I did mine that way round. Then all I'm going to do is we're going to add that little strip there, and then it's going to hide that sort of embellished scar line, sorry. I don't have no ribbon, but you would probably wrap a piece of ribbon around that. That would look lovely. And if you've got your magnets, use a magnet to create your enclosure. You would pop it further up, obviously, because you don't want to be able to see it. Now, I don't want to do anything else to that. I love that stark white on there. But if you want to pop some acetate behind that, and then you can paper piece your stars and your swirls back in, you absolutely can. But the only other thing I'm going to do to that is I've got some of my sentiments. So I'm going to pop Rejoice Christ is Born just on the bottom. And we're going to go nice and jaunty. Trim that right down. And again, it was a bit wonky. Again, I'm not going to put anything else. I could mat and layer that onto some orange to tie it in, but because we've got lots of white, we don't have to. We just have to find where I've put my foam pads.
I never thought about doing a jaunty angle for You know, we always sort of think of something just being straight, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. And just straighten that off. There we go. So what you could do actually is you could use this, pop it there, and then that is going to tuck under it and it's going to keep it closed. If you wanted to do, I'm not going to do that, I want to pop it to the bottom. But you could absolutely do that. So that, if I turn it around for you, is just using that edgeable on a lovely little bag. So it opens up. Lovely.
That's lovely. Oh, I like that a lot. Sue Cummins said, how do you cut those pieces out? Do you mean, Sue, can you let us know, do you mean actually the edgeable that Michelle used, or do you mean the mat and layers? If you can let us know on that. Michelle Harris says she loves the idea of using the edgeable as a flap. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. And it works so well with that paper that you've chosen because it looks like they're following that star, doesn't it?
That's exactly why I picked it. So that's from the 6x6 paper pad. And I thought, actually, that is the perfect piece because it does. So if you wanted to obviously paper piece something back into there, but I thought that was the perfect piece of paper to go with that
Absolutely. That is absolutely gorgeous. Really like that. I'll be remembering taking those measurements and making one of those myself. We're going to take a little break. Do remember, message in, let us know what you're getting up to, and also let us know what your mastermind subject is going to be. We'll see you in a couple of moments.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
what
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome! This is awesome!
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze. If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We are having a first look at two different things. We are looking at the Oh Holy Night collection over here to my left, and over to my right. See, I'm getting better at this. We are also looking at the magazine, which has got some really fantastic items in there, some projects using the Oh Holy Night collection. We were talking about what would be your mastermind subject. Lillian Kwok says Bagpuss would be her mastermind subject. He was a saggy cat puss, but Emily loved him. I just don't quite like that. Lindsay says my mastermind would be Twilight films and Marilyn Monroe. That's an odd coupling, actually, I have to say. Sean says my subject would be Harry Potter, the books, not the films. Quite interesting to see what people will be doing. We're still waiting for Nicola to tell us what her special subject is. Well, Harry Potter, do you think, Nicola? Harry Potter films or books? Neither. Okay. I'm gonna challenge you because I quite like a Harry Potter book. Although I can't read the last chapter of the last book, it makes me cry. Lindsay says, I love it when we show pictures of what people have made.
Yes.
Finally, that happens. We've got some more coming up in a moment, so we can show you some more things. So do message in if you've got items that you would like to see, and do take advantage of Michelle being here to ask her any questions about anything at all. We'll find out what did you say your Crafter's Companion? No, we were saying your mastermind subject was it Crafter's Companion?
No, because 2 years ago, yes, maybe.
Yeah, but
we've brought out so much since then. No. I've got a really rubbish memory.
Have you?
Yeah, really rubbish memory for things that I'm supposed to remember, like facts and feeding my children.
They're old enough to feed themselves, surely now. Yeah. I only remember really unimportant things. Anything that was actually important, like my left and my right, I don't remember at all. Right, one of the things we're looking at today in First Look is the magazine. This magazine has got lots and lots of inspiration in here. It's got step-by-step projects for you to work through, but it also has papers in here as well. So we've got lots of inspiration using the Oh Holy Night collection. You're also going to be getting 3 gifts inside here. So you can see you've got in the papers in here and toppers. These are not the same papers you'll be getting in the collection, but they are they're all sort of complementary to those, and really fantastic projects. There's also a few things in here about the penguins as well, but you will also be getting these 3 gifts with the magazines. The first one is your sentiment stamps. So these are upside down, and they're not the same sentiment stamps you'll be getting in the Oh Holy Night collection. So this is released on the 29th of August, this magazine. The Oh Holy Night collection will be launched on the 4th of September. You'll also be getting this embossing folder, and then you'll be getting this die here, which has got the sort of nativity scenes. This is a 2-piece die set. So you've got the outer shape as well as that intricate design in the middle. Lots and lots of inspiration in here, which is all going to complement the Oh Holy Night collection, which you can see just to the left of me here. You've got dies in here, embossing folders, stamps, papers and cardstock in here. Really, really beautiful collection. And as I say, these inside the magazine, you'll find lots of inspiration using these items, using this kind of theme. To show you exactly what you'll be getting in here, these are the various items. So the first one is your nativity. So this is your die set with Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. Then you have this one here, which absolutely sort of stained glass window effect would be gorgeous. This is Comfort and Joy, where you've got Mary and baby Jesus here. Paper piecing would look absolutely lovely with that. This one is your Silent Night die, a beautiful script on here. Oops, that really is very, very pretty. And we have another one, which is Oh Holy Night, using the same kind of script to those as well. We then have the Star of Wonder, again a two-piece die set. So you've got the outer die to create that sort of matten layer, as well as all that intricate shaping in the inside. This one I think is my favourite. This is the little snow globe with a nativity scene in it, so that's your stamp and die set. Then we have some of your sentiments, stamp sentiments. We also have the All is Bright Edgeable, which you just saw Michelle use. Really lovely, and as Michelle said, you could use this for not just sort of Christmas time, but actually for any kind of celebration, which is always nice when you've got something you can use for multiple different occasions. This is Let Us Adore Him. Again, really, really pretty die set with Mary, Joseph and the baby Jesus. And then you have Upside Down, Becky. This is your embossing folder. This is shining brightly. You saw Michelle using this earlier on. Looked really beautiful with that silver gilding wax over the top. You're also going to be getting a 6x6 paper pad. Beautiful. So these are double-sided papers. As always, they are very sort of intricate, very detailed on one side, and more sort of muted patterns on the back. But all of those beautiful sort of blues and purples, greens, all of the kind of nativity imagery that you will see here, as well as the wise men. Beautiful images here, and this is replicated in the 12x12 paper pad, only on a larger scale, so you can get a full idea if I flick through of these different papers here. They are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful patterns on here. I mean, it's very difficult to even sort of cut these up because you want to sort of keep them whole, but great for scrapbooking as well, I think, if you're going to be using doing like a big scrapbook for Christmas time. Really, really beautiful, and again, great for your sort of construction that you might be making some sort of larger projects with those. And then finally, you're going to be getting your luxury cardstock. So this is all linen cardstock. As always with our linen cardstock, it's really amazing quality. You've got beautiful colours in here, beautiful sort of purples, like deep, almost like a deep aubergine you've got here, going through into that beautiful bright yellow. It's like a bright yellowy orange, a kind of dark teal, a dark olive green, a sort of purpley midnight blue, as well as that beautiful kind of cerise pink here. So that is the whole collection that you'll see here, which is going to be launching with Sarah on the 4th. Laura Simmons says, oh, look at those B-sides. Yeah, I think the B-sides, actually, sometimes the B-sides are almost sort of speak to you more, don't they? They are beautiful, back and front. And I do like the fact that sometimes I always think that the 6x6 paper pad seems to be like the poor relation for the 12x12. But in that demo you just showed us, Michelle, that 6x6 really came into its own, didn't it, making that bag?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Obviously, in the 12x12, it's a 12x12 piece, but when you've got a smaller project, the fact that you've got the full imagery of the 12x12 on the 6x6, it means that you're not just getting a portion of it, you get to see it, and it works perfectly with that, you know, with the star and the edgeable. So yeah, absolutely. I love a 6x6 just as much as a 12x12, I've got to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, what are you going to be demoing for us next?
So I am going to go straight in. So we're going to go back to the magazine for my last demo, and I'm going to use that lovely embossing folder.
Okay.
So as daft as it sounds, Becky asked me earlier, how do you know if it's a 2D or not? To be honest, when you get a 3D embossing folder, I've never got one that doesn't say 3D on it.
Okay.
So if you get an embossing folder and it doesn't say 3D, then the rule of thumb is it's going to be a 2D or a cut and emboss, which you're going to use the same plate combination for anyway. Right, so I've got that beautiful, so it's an A6 folder. So for those of us who don't know what an A6 folder is, it's just short of a 6x4 in inches. So we're going to pop that down. So I'm going to pop some craft card in. I've cut it just a little smaller.
Why do you cut it smaller?
I've cut it smaller because of the card that I've made.
Right.
You don't have to, sometimes if you cut it a little bit too big, you get some creasing along the edges.
Right.
So there's two options to sort of remedy that. Cut it a lot bigger and then you can cut those away, or cut it that tiny little bit smaller and then you don't need to worry about that at all. So let's pop this in and run it through. So popping it in there. So my 2D, so if I use a 2D or a cut and emboss, it's my two outside plates. For a 3D, you're going to need less. So you're going to use just your bottom plate and then your plastic and your magnetic shim. So let's pop that there. I'm never quite sure which is the front. I always get it wrong. There you go. So you've got that lovely image on there. And again, I've used craft cut. Do you know, even on the back though, even if you want to use the back, the emboss detail.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's lovely, really, really lovely. So I'm just going to bring in a couple of my water reactive ink pads. I've got honey pot and I've got orange. So, and again, it's going to look totally different on the craft card as it would if you do it on the white card. But to be honest, I think at Christmas I like to use a lot of craft card, and I don't think we use as much as we should.
No, I think it's really sort of underrated.
Yeah.
Really. I like a bit of craft card, especially when it looks like gingerbread.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to go, I've gone into the sort of centre bit with the honey pot, and then we're going to go around the edges with the orange. And it, to be honest, it also blends a lot differently and a lot easier, I think, on craft card. I think it's because it's quite fibrous. You get a different blend. Obviously, you're going to get a different colour effect as well.
Looks very rich, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those colours.
Go back over with some of that honey pot. Just build it up until you're quite happy with it. And then actually, I think I'm just going to, in fact, let me bring in, do I have my Fryer Brown? You've got a Seal Brown, which is quite dark, which I don't think I want to use. I'm going to look for my Fryer Brown. So I'm just going to use that. Let me grab just another ink dauber for that bottom bit. It didn't seem quite right to do that bottom bit in orange and honey pot. So just on the bottom bit. Is that rain I can hear?
I think it is rain, which isn't very good.
No.
Kirsty D says, woohoo! I've just had an email that I've won the lottery. Lucky dip. It doesn't matter. Actually, Nicola said she has as well. So maybe she won a lucky dip, not the lottery. I did. If you won the lottery, would everyone disappear? Would you go and do something else? Would you carry on working? Carry on working, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to stop working.
No, I really enjoy doing what I do. And I mean, we're not all fortunate enough to have a job that we love, and I'm very fortunate to have a job that I love, so I don't think I would.
No.
Definitely not. You'd have to drag me out of here kicking and screaming, I think.
We do regularly. She just won't go home.
Yeah, you do.
And Kim Rice has asked, if you're making 6x6 cards, what cardstock do you tend to use when you're making the card bases?
So if you've got some of our A3, you can use that. If you don't have any A3, then you're just going to use your normal A4 and you're going to cut two pieces, one at 6x6 and one at 6x6.5. Right. Because then that's your tab, and then you can attach it.
Okay.
You can always cover that tab up with, if you put your tab on the inside, you can always cover it up with an insert. So there's always ways to cover it up if you don't like to see it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the best way.
Excellent, thank you.
So just using my tacky glue,
Yeah.
sticking this down. I've got some of this gorgeous, so it's like a copper matte mirror, and it's from, so is it the metallics pack that we do? There's like
yes.
a gold and a silver.
So
and
precious metals.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it, precious metals.
I've been here too long. If I know that.
You're getting very good at that. Right, so then all I'm going to do is just, again, another nice simple card. I've got my card base. And just stick that down. In fact, this is the paper from the magazine, and it is a little bit thinner than the paper that you will get in our paper pads. So when I am using the paper from the magazines, I was saying earlier, will go for a tape pen. Purely because I just want to be that little bit more careful. So just pop in very carefully. My tape pen is running out, it's to the end, which is why I'm having to have a bit of a fight with it. Let me just bring in another one. Oh, I've got one. I've just, look at that, I'm that organised. I'm not used to being organised. I didn't realise I had one with me. So
Yeah, it's really pouring with rain now, isn't it?
it really is coming down. So I've got this onto some foam pads. Got ink everywhere. But you know, you're having a good day at the office when you've got ink and glue and glitter on your eyelashes.
On your
So let me pop that on there first before I pop that one down. Again, use my tape pen, it's next to me.
I suppose we all use all the different glues for, you might use, in the same project, you might use every glue, mightn't you?
I do tend to, tends to go through every single glue that I've got next to me. And again, we're going to go to those sentiments that I've stamped out, and I think, "Oh, come, let us adore him" is going to work perfectly with that one. So
I'm so impressed with the way that you just get your scissors out, and I'd be like, oh no, I'm going to have to line that up and pop it under my guillotine, and it still wouldn't be right. Have to stamp it twice. Got a steady hand.
Yeah, I do tend, if I'm cutting out a sentiment, I've got a real steady hand. I don't do bad at that at all. I know Debbie Fisher wouldn't even, she would say to me, I don't know how you do that, I wouldn't even attempt it. But
Liz McLean says, I love that in the Precious Metals pack, there's adhesive sheets in there too. I did not know that.
Yes.
And I have that at home. I'm going to have to go and have what kind of adhesive sheets? Adhesive sheets of the cardstock?
Yes, yeah. So obviously it just peels off the back.
That is good to know.
Oh yeah, I love those packs with those sheets in. Just makes it life a little bit easier sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to use the textured cardstock. For one, I've run out of that beautiful copper, but for two, it's still going to tie in and work anyway. So I'm going to pop that down there, and again, it's going to go on a foam pad just at one side, so then I can overlap it onto my image. So pop in that there like that.
That's a really weird, there's a really weird popping noise. I don't know if you can hear it. It's like a pop, pop, pop. And it's either a very tuneful bird that's outside, or it's water that's dripping on the roof. It's going pop, 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 pop.
I can't hear it, no.
What was that?
Huh? Oh. Becky.
Oh, you nearly fell for that joke.
Right, let me pop just this one under here. The reason that I'm having to pop another one under is because the foam pads I've used on this and then this are different thicknesses.
Right.
So where I've doubled that up, where I had a single one, it wasn't quite high enough.
Yeah.
I've put a double one on and it's too big.
Right.
So if I bring this one in that's a little bit thinner,
should be
and
about
pop
right.
that under there, it's just right.
Excellent.
A little bit like Goldilocks. And then all I'm going to do is I've just got 3 gems, and then they're going to go across the top.
1. Up.
2. There we go.
He was my favourite character from Sesame Street.
I loved Count Von Count. Yeah. So there you go. So you can see how the ink will soak in a little bit more because of it being that craft card, but I absolutely love the effects that you get with it. Look at that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Very, very nice. Brilliant. I think we probably have to do demo of the show, don't we? Because you've done quite a few. Yep. If you get your makes together, and then we'll have a look at a few pictures. We've got Sandra Dundas says about using a cheat for a 6x6 card. She suggests you cut a sheet of A4 to 11 3/4 by 6 and score the card 5 3/4 and burnish. Place a strip of 6mm red liner tape on the sticking out back edge and covering glitter or gilding flakes. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Always handy. I think that's quite useful when you're a new crafter and you might not have A3 paper card stock, because we didn't have it in stock for a while, did we?
No.
So that's a good way of being able to make a 6x6 card blank. Right, you've got all your makes, you've made loads.
I know, I've done 5.
It seemed like a long time ago you made that first one.
I know. I know.
Wow.
It's not like me to do 5. So number 1 was the easel card, so that's number 1. Number 2.
Oh, yep.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 4, the bag. And then number 5.
Wow. Right, everybody get your votes in. 1 to 5 you've got there. Brilliant. Difficult again, Michelle. You make it hard for everybody to choose. I
do try.
We've got a few photos to show you of people's makes, so we're going to show you those now while you get your votes in. This is lovely. This is a happy birthday card from Hannah, and that's lovely with a little seahorse.
I love that. Very pretty.
I like that. That's a beautiful embossing folder you've got on the back of there. I like that a lot. Next one again is from Hannah. That's beautiful with those roses.
I love that. I love the colours.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next one we've got.
Radical
this is from Rachel.
I love those.
They're I love that big witch's hat. It's gorgeous. Love those.
Lovely.
Really like seeing all of your makes. It's always nice. And you must like seeing makes of people when they've copied your craft along, Michelle. You must really enjoy seeing people when they've actually crafted along and put their own sort of take on what you've put together.
I do. I love to see that. And not because, you know, I'm being big-headed or anything, but it's just, for me, it's lovely because I always worry that I'm not explaining things properly. That's always like a big worry for me. So you'll hear me say a lot, does that make sense? Does that make sense? So then when someone's created something and I'm like, oh my God, it made sense. So yeah, it's lovely to see people's take on what you've made, definitely.
Yeah. Excellent. Gosh, that was quick. We've already got a winner.
Oh.
Right, so which one did you think was going to win?
I think 3 or 4.
It's number 4.
The
well
bag.
done, well done. Difficult to choose because they are all very different, really great. So that is going to go into demo of the week. We'll do later on in the last show. We've got a last minute photo. We've got a last minute photo to show you.
Oh.
This one's from Hannah as well. This one is. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Well, that must be, that's the inside of the seahorse card that we saw earlier on with the little, oh, I love that. Little, like, is that a diorama card?
I think that is, we had those on a couple of years ago. They were like this box card and you build the diorama
like
up inside.
that.
Yeah.
That's great. I'd like to receive that card. It's going to be my birthday soon. Right, so we're going to have another look at the items we've got on first look today. No, I'm not going to read the magazine to you out loud. It's not that kind of show, and I'm just going to read. It's not. It's like Tom Hardy doing bedtime stories. Yeah. Hello. Well, I'm beyond excited to bring you the latest. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to tell you what's inside here. So first look today is about the magazine, and it's also about the Oh Holy Night collection, which is launching on the 4th of September. This is launching on the 29th of August with Debbie Fisher. So in here you've got all sorts of inspiration. You've got all sorts of different projects in here. If I open up or flick through, you can have a look at all the different bits and pieces in here. I can't really flick through because I haven't got an overhead shot, but you can see all of those different details that you've got here. Really great for your inspiration. I mean, even if you're not, you haven't got a holy, or not going to order a Holy Night, well, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. This is just great for your general sort of inspiration, different ideas you're going to be getting in here. But of course, you're going to be getting in here a whole selection of papers and toppers. So as Michelle was saying, this is slightly thinner paper than you'll be getting in the paper pads, but beautiful. And you can see when I showed you earlier on those paper pads, how these complement. They're not exactly the same, but they're going to complement all of those different designs here. And it's also got in here, let me find my favourite project. I mean, obviously, I love those little penguins because I think they're just the cutest little things in there. But you've probably seen projects on there as well. But you've got step-by-step instructions in here. You've obviously watched us making things on screen, but being able to have those step-by-step instructions for how to put them together is really, really useful. And then I love that big church, if I can find that again. These, I think, are really cool as well. These kind of stars that Michelle was saying about making. And that's a great way of using up perhaps you've got some paper pads that you've taken advantage of when we've had some deals on those, and you want to use some of those to create those designs. Lots of different items. I mean, look at these, using different colours here in those beautiful pinks. It's almost like a kind of sunset kind of colours in there, but that's going to work really well with all of those elements, including all of those toppers in there. As well as the magazine, you'll be getting in there a selection of gifts. So you'll be getting your die here with that nativity scene. So you get 2 dies, one to do the outer edge and one to do the intricate design inside. Then you've also got this embossing folder. And you've also got a selection of sentiment stamps, which are not the same sentiments you'll be getting in the main collection. So this is a standalone item to have, which is going to complement all of this Oh Holy Night collection here. So great for anybody who is a seasoned crafter, or perhaps somebody that's just getting started. This is a great item for you to have because you're going to be getting a little bit of a taster for everything, and then you know that it's all going to work seamlessly with the rest of the collection that we've got over here. Adriana says, Michelle, you give great directions.
Thank you very much.
I think you do. Yeah, I think everyone really enjoys all of your makes. You've made some beautiful things. We're back together again later on this afternoon, aren't we? We've got a masterclass. And that's on Spectrum One?
Yes, it's on our Illustrator. So we're going to be having just 2 hours of play.
Excellent. I like that idea.
And then, Second Chance Sunday. Yep. So I'm getting to have a play with all the launches this week, so all those Halloween ones, so the 3-in-1s, we've got the nesting dies, so I'm very, very excited for that.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's coming up in the next week or so. We are going to have a quick break. We're going to go and buy some afternoon tea for George, as it's his last day with us.
What?
And he's very, very sad. And we will see you back in a couple of hours' time. Have a nice afternoon. Bye-bye.